What's up, TikTok? I'm back with another video. I will be speaking about the drones. Alright, as you can know, I'm in the army, the military, whatever you gonna call it. Look, we are launching the drones up in the sky as of right now in New Jersey and stuff, in Texas, everywhere. Like, y'all don't gotta be afraid. Them are man-made drones. And we're doing the launching or whatever. Now, what you do have to be concerned of, my bad, my eye, but is the orbs that's inside the sky that y'all see that's glowing and stuff, that's shooting down the drones and all that. That's not a part of us. Them are actually real life aliens. Like, aliens do exist. They're above and they're below us. Yes, they do exist. And 2025 there will be a lot more of exposing the truth. I can't say the reason why, but because it's already out here, so I can speak on this. Aliens are real, and we will have to evacuate sooner than later. But just be careful. Keep looking up in the sky at night. They only come at night. They will only come at night. I don't know the reason. I just know it's been investigated. Aliens are real, and we're trying to figure out why they're here visiting us right now. There's a lot going on within the United States. It's a lot of everything, but they're real. Be careful. Watch out.
So if your houseplants are capable of sensing telepathic communication and participating in telepathic communication, it's been shown that if you have houseplants that have been in your life for even a few months, if you put EEGs on those and then you send the person who takes care of those out of the house, send them some distance away, the moment they come within 2,000 meters or 2 kilometers from the home, the plants all perk up. They can feel the person coming from 2 kilometers away. And so if plants are that sentient, that they are that connected, even in a pot in your house, totally disconnected seemingly from nature, if that thing is feeling 2 kilometers of space and then waiting for the excitement of being like, the person who loves me, the person who planted me is coming back. How phenomenal. Like,
scientists have just announced that they found an interstellar tunnel that connects us, our solar system, to other solar systems light years away. Now this sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie, but let me try to explain what I know about this. So this channel, tube, or interstellar tunnel stretches from us to a place called the Centaurus constellation. And here's what that constellation looks like. I guess you could say it's kind of like a centaur. Now what the tunnel looks like is kind of harder to explain. Now I automatically thought of like a science fiction wormhole, and that's about what the scientists said it's like. About a 1.5 million kilometer tunnel that could connect the Earth to other planets. Now I got something to say about this, and it's just my opinion. Now with all the drone sightings over the East Coast that we've had, and the dozens if not hundreds of UFO sightings in the past year, this interstellar tunnel kind of fits into a pattern of stuff we're just now being told about. And I'm wondering why they're specifically mentioning the Centaurus star system as a connecting point from one of these tunnels. Now look, maybe I'm just suspicious, maybe I'm reading too much into stuff, I don't know. But when you hear all these stories come in about the same time, when a couple years ago people would have thought you were crazy for even mentioning it, to me, and maybe it's just me, but this doesn't feel like a coincidence. But I want to know what you think about this. Let me know in the comment section, Booshkies. Shabadoo!
إثبات. مين انت؟ اسمع 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 شو اسمك؟ يما إنه أنا ما بعرف ظهر وراي. طب ممكن تظهر كمان مرة؟ شو الصوت؟ في صوت طلع هون يا اخوان. شكرا لك. اسمع. الباب سكر علي ولا شو في؟ لا الباب سكر. هذا بتحرك.
Here's your proof right here in this video. So what you're looking at is a drone or a plasmoid or a UAP, whatever it is, got stuck in the top of this tree. These people got it on video, and as you can see, it looks completely different when the light's shining on it or when there's not light. So this is another strange thing that's happening among many. I've recently made a friend that shot down one of these things. That video's on my page. But what in the world is going on? People are so desensitized right now, or they're brainwashed in the fact that we're seeing these things with our eyes and we're not even fazed. I mean, what type of people are we today? I remember years ago, someone did a fake alien invasion joke on the radio and it caused chaos. So now we're seeing it with our eyes and people aren't doing anything. But my question to you is, what was that? Or what is this right here in that tree? My goodness. Make sure that you're following this page. Comment below what you think.
This is the amount of blood you have in your body. This is the amount of sugar in your bloodstream at any given time. This is the amount of glucose an average adult consumes each day. Sugar in the brain is called dementia. Sugar in your pancreas and bloodstream is called type 2 diabetes. Sugar in your skin is called aging. Sugar in your liver is called fatty liver disease. Sugar in your heart is called cardiovascular disease. Sugar in your kidneys is called kidney failure.
Hundreds of thousands of people are joining me to discuss the most recent Mandela Effect, which is the Statue of David suddenly has heart-shaped pupils. A lot of really great points are made, so I'm going to share both sides with you. On the side of this is for sure Mandela Effect thing, multiple people have tattoos of David, and they have tattoos of his face really close up, and they did not discuss the heart-shaped pupils with their tattoo artist, and there's no heart-shaped pupils on their tattoo. And if you're getting a tattoo of a face, you would for sure discuss whether or not the classic heart-shaped eyes should be in the tattoo. Another one is multiple students in college have drawn for many hours at a time as a class his face in detail, and there was no hearts, and they were drawing his face specifically. One girl even had a textbook that used to have a photo of him, and she went to go look, and there's just no photo, and she remembered there being a photo, and she's like, where's the photo? Lots of stories like this where people had experiences knowing there was a picture, knowing there was eyes, whatever. One girl has a t-shirt that she's had forever with circle eyes, and guess what? There's still circle eyes on the t-shirt, which is really weird because of this. The Mandela Effect implies that we are in a reality where he's always had heart-shaped pupils. And so a lot of you are like, I remember him having flat eyes with no heart-shaped pupils, but I'm going to my textbooks, I'm going to the pictures, and he has heart eyes, so I guess I was wrong. That's the whole point of the Mandela Effect. We remember something different than our reality currently has. Some of us are from this reality. Some of us have always seen the heart-shaped pupils. Many of us are from a different reality. And lastly, a lot of people are like, it's 17 feet tall, you wouldn't see the pupils. Most of us do not know this statue from visiting Florence and looking at it in person. Most of us know it from pictures. We know what his face looks like, we've drawn it, we've seen it. We know his face because we see pictures. We're not looking up, we're looking right at him. And his face is iconic in our reality. In the reality I'm from, I know what David's face looks like. That's why everyone's freaking out in my comment section. That's why there's hundreds of thousands of people watching, because when we think of the statue of David, we know what he looks like. And he doesn't have heart pupils. We know his face in our reality. If you're saying, or you have an argument, I've always seen him with heart pupils, he has a picture right here with heart pupils that's 20 years old, so this isn't real, then you just don't understand the Mandela Effect, and this conversation might not be for you if you can't keep up. Honestly, there's a lot of fights happening in my comment section. If you can't keep up, you can't keep up. This is the idea that there was a little reality shift and we're now in a different reality. It's a spiritual thing. Lastly, oh my gosh, I immediately said this to my husband. Has he always had that grimace? Has he always looked angry? And my husband was like, he did not used to look that way. I didn't want to say this because it sounded crazy, but I have so many people being like, that was not his expression. There's this little thing that he used to not have.
If you want to enjoy life and see many happy days, keep your tongue from speaking evil and your lips from telling lies. Turn away from evil and do good. Search for peace and work to maintain it. The eyes of the Lord watch over those who do right, and his ears are open to their prayers, but the Lord turns his face against those who do evil. Amen. May God bless you.
Muslims are Jews who accept Jesus and Muhammad as legitimate prophets of God. Jews are Christians who don't accept Jesus as the Messiah. Christians are Muslims who don't accept the legitimacy of Muhammad as a prophet. Muslims are Christians who think Jesus is just a prophet and not the Son of God. Christians are Jews who accept Jesus as the Messiah. Jews are Muslims who don't accept Jesus or Muhammad as legitimate prophets of God.
Get your fucking finger cards out! Did any one of you have water potentially being an intelligent life form on your fucking bingo cards? The experiment that is currently taking place is very complex, but we're going to talk about it right fucking now. Small panic. So to preface this, there are certain things on Earth that hold a genetic memory. Natural honey is one of the things on Earth that does this. And if you have natural honey laying around, you can prove it. Put some honey in a bowl, fill it with cold water just to where it's over the top of the honey, and then swirl it. This is done in classrooms across America every fucking day to show what genetic memory is. Because when the honey is swirled in the cold water, you can see the memory of the honeycomb it was pulled from. It'll literally look like liquid honeycomb in the water. There's thousands of videos on this. But there is currently an experiment going on, done by a scientist named Miss Austin, where she is proving not only does water have genetic memory, but it also has intelligence and maybe even consciousness. And the way that she's doing it is blowing my fucking mind. So what we have here is a woman who shows water a picture and basically just asks politely for the water to recreate the image or what it thinks that the image has to do with, and the water does it. And I got fucking pictures. This is one of the most stunning ones that I came across. She showed the picture of this bird to the water, froze the water, and the water created the bird. I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptical about that one, because what she showed us was a picture of that duck in the water bowl. That could just be like the honey and be a genetic memory. It gets better. She wanted to specifically prove that the water had intelligence and that it wasn't simply a mirror, and she did. What you see before you are two separate tests. The first test, she laid a sunflower seed in the water, and then the second test, she laid a flax seed in the water. She wanted the water to show her what flowers were in the seed, and the flowers were shown in the ice after the water was frozen. That is not a water making picture of a duck. That is something completely fucking different. The water knows what plant is what and what it will grow into. But there's even more. She is still continuing this test to this day, showing the water different things and getting the water's different reactions. These are a collection of all of the different things so far. If the water not only has genetic memory, but it has intelligence. Humans are 60% water. We require water to live. So if this is intelligent, what the fuck?
A force sensor is measuring the 1.36 Newton buoyant force which is pushing up on this rock submerged in this beaker of water. Flippin' physics! The upward buoyant force is equal to the weight of the water displaced by the rock. To prove this, let's switch to a measuring cup and add water to the cup until water starts pouring out of the cup and into the little beaker. And fast forward until all the excess water has flowed out of the cup. And let's empty the little beaker of water and dry it out. Now, notice the little beaker is also on a force sensor, which I have zeroed out. And as I lower the rock into the water in the measuring cup, the water displaced by the rock flows out of the measuring cup and into the beaker. And if we fast forward until all the excess water has flowed out of the cup and into the beaker, you can see the magnitude of the buoyant force is still 1.36 newtons, and the weight of the water displaced by the rock measures 1.37 newtons, which is, with less than 1% error, the same as 1.36 newtons. Because the buoyant force acting on the object is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by that object. Again,
Have you guys seen the video about the woman who thinks she went through a portal? And the video posted by this creator, they had almost the exact same story, but in different places. So I came across this video first, and then 2 days later, the other person's video. And everyone is saying in the comments, quantum immortality. So let's get into it. So she posts her video about how she and her children have left Walmart. They're driving on a road that they drive quite often, and that she looks down at her phone for a split second, and when she looks up, they're in a completely different location. She doesn't even remember why she was looking down at her phone, but even her kids recognized that they weren't in the same place. She says that she then puts her home address into her GPS to figure out where they are, and they are 30 minutes away from where they were just at. Then she goes to make a U-turn to go back in the direction that she thinks that they came from, and all of a sudden another vehicle slams into the back of her vehicle, and that is why she ended up in the hospital. All of her children were okay, but she was in a neck brace. She says that the people who hit her were also very confused because they said it was like she just appeared out of nowhere. 2 days later, I come across this video, also talking about how they're driving. I looked down at his phone at a text message from his partner. Then, when he looks up from the text message in a completely different location. I will tag both creators down below so that you can go watch their videos. But like I said, everyone was commenting quantum immortality. So I'm like, what the heck is that? Well, I looked it up on TikTok, and their little explanation says that this is a theory that proposes that our consciousness may continue to exist in some form after death, potentially transferring to a parallel universe or existing within the universe in a different way. This idea raises profound questions about the nature of the universe and our place within it. So, like, they actually died in those instances, but didn't because it's a parallel universe? I don't know, I'm confused. But a lot of people were also commenting, telling them that the woman, like, well, you actually died in that crash. I don't know. It's wild.
A prayer for the coming of Mashiach, for real peace throughout the world.
Interesting, right? They're all saying this. And they've already declared somebody their Mashiach, their Prince of Peace. And Christians all know that their Mashiach is going to be our Antichrist, because the Messiah has already came. And for the ones that say, Chris, we've been in the end times forever. You've been saying Jesus is going to come back forever. There's a difference in a non-prophetic claim of the end times and a prophetic claim of the end times. What I mean by that is that prophecy is fulfilled. They have the red heifer almost ready to sacrifice. The person that they have called their Mashiach, their Prince of Peace, just appointed an architect to rebuild the third temple. They have minted this man's face on a coin with King Cyrus, which maybe that can be your homework. Look up who King Cyrus is. Wars, rumors of war, global unrest. You look at the floods, the earthquakes, the hurricanes that are only going to get worse. Israel is surrounded by its enemies. Not just surrounded, his surrounded enemies, her surrounding enemies, want to obliterate her and are actively trying to. Once that third temple is built, which it will be very soon, the abomination of desolation will stand in that third temple. How long will it take exactly? I don't know. I can't tell you. We don't know the day or the hour. You know the verse that you guys like to throw around a lot. Maybe not you. But it says in the Bible that in the end there will be mockers and scoffers, even Christian, saying, where is your Jesus? You've been saying this for forever. But he says he will reward his watchers, the ones that are watching for him, the ones that are ready for him. If you don't believe that Jesus is God, I'm going to urge you to pull your Bible out, go on the internet, type in End Times Prophecies on YouTube, and really see what's going on. The amount of prophecies that the Bible has fulfilled, especially right now, would make it impossible not to be a true book. So look up who they're calling their Mashiach and their Prince of Peace. It might shock you, because Christians are obsessed with him, as was I at one point, until I found out that prophecy says who he really is.
We could write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. And now we have our quadrants written down. This is where things are going to get a little tricky, and we have to be very, very precise when we do this. On the map, there are 2 points. They're going to be in the middle, in between quadrant 1 and 3, and then in the middle between quadrants 2 and 4. All right, so right where our folds meet width and lengthwise, right here at the center, and then in between running down these folds left and right of center, we're just going to draw a line. There's 1 point here and 1 point right here. Using a straight edge, if we had one, or using any straight edge, we're just going to draw a line connecting those 2 dots. So we have a line right here connecting those 2 dots. That is where we're going to make our cut, from dot to dot, one straight line. And now you can see our cut. Now from here, all we have to do is pull up in the middle, lengthwise, the center fold of our map, and then now we have the ability to flip-flop the center. And we want to start with quadrant 1, so we'll lay out quadrant 1. Fold the map in half like this, fold this over, so we have our quadrant, and then we can still fold A and B down on top, fold it yet again. Now we have our first quadrant. This is how small it is that we can still use it for terrain association, whatever we want to use it for. All we have to do is unfold B, fold it back over, and we have B. Unfold, flip it, we have C and D. Fold it in half, there's C. Fold it again, there's D, or flip it. Open it up. A, B, C, and D, our first quadrant. Grab the D and B side, flip it over. Now we have our second quadrant. G, or E, F, G. You fold it again, fold it down. There's E, F, G, H. Fold it up. All right, there's I, J, K, L. Then our last quadrant, M, N, O, and P. Check out this magic. A, B. Alright guys, so a down and dirty video today on how to cut and fold a map. That way we have access to every single portion of the map that we need without having to open it all the way up to a 48 by 36 inch size like this and keep it small while still having access to every single portion of that map that we need for land navigation, for orienteering, evasion, anything we need a map for, while keeping that map small. That way we protect it and we use only the portions that we need and avoid destroying the other portions that we may need of that map while keeping it small at the same time, so we can put it away really quick and hide it or keep it out of sight and still have that map to use for whatever we needed that map for. Now I really hope you liked this video. Again, down and dirty today. And if you did like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment in the comment section. I always appreciate your feedback. I want to thank you guys for everything you do for me, for this channel, for your likes, your views, your subscriptions, your comments, your feedback, and your shares. And I'll be back with the video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.
Back then, apple cider meant you squish the juice. That's called apple juice. Well, there was no such thing as refrigeration, so 2 things would happen. If it was exposed to oxygen, it would turn into vinegar. Well, the other stuff, you seal it up so no oxygen gets in there, and it turns into what we call hard cider. Then what happened as the internal combustion engine was created, your hard apple cider that tasted terrible, you would rectify the situation, and rectification is a chemical process also known as distillation. So you would make serious moonshine out of your apples, and then you would use that as fuel in your internal combustion engines. So homesteaders were growing their own fuel by distilling their own alcohol from squished apples.
Frickin' thing, it's staring at me. It followed me home from the gifting rock. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I think I don't know what to do. But it followed me home and it is absolutely staring at me right now. Have a look. Okay. Get the other side. Oh, damn. Holy shit. All right. Oh, damn. Son of a bitch just went on the other side of the house. Oh.
Have you ever wondered whether adding stuff to a USB stick makes it heavier? So computers use binary code, right? Ones and zeros. And in the old days, it was about punch cards. So a hole would be a 1 and no hole would be a 0. Now, of course, everything is electronic, but it's the same idea, basically, that you, I mean, very simply, you pass this voltage over a transistor and it's 0 if it's got a charge in it, and then if it's a 1, you make a hole, you remove that electron. So here's where something so fascinating is, because when you have a blank USB drive or hard drive, whatever it is, it's mostly zeros. And then when you add information on, you're adding in ones, but you're effectively taking away those electrons. And because one electron weighs 0.000000000000000000000000001 grams, actually what you're doing in adding data on, taking electrons away, you are making the thing lighter. And so, yeah, full USB drives weigh less than brand new ones. Although I should say that if you actually wanted to be able to detect this difference by weighing it, then you would need a hard drive that was bigger than all of the hard drives that exist on Earth. So, good luck with that.
Okay, legit, I had to like pull over and like pull this back up because I thought maybe it's a car party, right? There's a bunch of like those weird looking Tesla vehicles over there, and I thought maybe it's like a car club. They're just all meeting up. And it's a Thursday night. I just want to show you. But there's no one over there. There's not a body. There's not a person. Like if it was a car club, those are pretty common around Atlanta. But look at this. I'm going to zoom in just so you. But the video that I heard was, it was like this girl who was saying like, have you seen any of like the lights flickering or anything like that? And then there was a guy in Jersey who was like, yeah, my apartment car, I mean my like house lights, I'm sorry, my house lights have been going off and like flickering. And she made a video of like lights just like this doing the same thing in a parking lot. I have no idea how to find that or stitch it, but this is what's happening. Not a single person. And listen, I'll let the window down so you can hear. Because when I first, I had like my radio on. There's no sound. Hold on, I'll even turn my car off. No sounds. Just cars going off. Alright, interesting enough.
Very weird times we are living in, my friends. Very weird times. Good vibes, sir. I hope from those all videos you've watched, you've left your comments, because there's pretty much to say about all those things you've just seen. And I trust you, my friend, because your comments will be helpful. Hit that like button also if you haven't up to this point. Good vibes, sir. As we wrap up, see, I've been munching on some things here, different fruits, you see. Now it's for our time to munch spiritually. You see, the spirit never gets full. If you feed it continually with good vibes and wisdom, it will still grow, you see. And this is what it says today. Listen closely. In him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins, in accordance with the riches of God's grace, that he lavished on us with all wisdom and understanding. That is Ephesians 1, 7 and 8. Interesting soul. Who is it talking about? Our creator, of course, our maker. The one here, my friend, we really acknowledge and always give thanks to before we start our show or at the end. And now, because you have reached that time we wrap up, we shall be doing so together. So kindly, good vibe soul, humble yourselves as we speak to our creator and wrap up the show. Thank you, wonderful Father. Thank you for your goodness. Thank you for your love, Father. Thank you for your peace, protection from the beginning of this video till this point. Thank you, dear Lord Father, for this child of yours, today's viewer that you have been with together, Father. All glory and honor belong unto you. Dear Lord Father, thank you for the blessings that they have received through the video, Father. May you show them your hand in their lives, Father. Forgive them their sins, Father, as you also forgive us. Help us to walk in your ways at all times and to spread love and peace to the whole world. Fill us with your Spirit, Father, and always be with us. May your goodness be seen through our channel, Father, and may this family increase in number and faith. In your holy name, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Till next time, good vibes, soul. Peace and love be with you. Kindly check out this episode here. It's full of good vibes. Bye bye.